myself, Joel Bayer, Rio Ferdinand, and man whom we trust, Mr. Fabrizio Romano. How you doing? You okay?
Ciao, my friend. All good, all good. Always a pleasure to be together with you. And thanks as always. All great.
Good stuff. Now, Fabrizio, we're going to get you to do all the talking today. You know, sometimes we interrupt, but we're going to let you do what you have to do. Stephen Howson's not here at the current moment. It's probably going to come late, but we'll let you get on with the job. So can you please give us the Romano update?
Yes, I would start with Chelsea, because Chelsea are really busy these weeks. They had a quiet January, and so Chelsea are really busy these weeks with contracts in general. So talking about contracts of their own players, Azpilicueta has still not made a decision whether he wants to stay at Chelsea or leave the club as free agent. But he has a proposal from Barcelona. Barcelona are offering him a 2-year contract with an option to extend for a further season. So Barca are tempting Azpilicueta, but Chelsea have not received any communication yet on Azpi's side. So they're waiting for him to decide whether he wants to stay in England or maybe come back to Spain. So Azpilicueta has this proposal from Barcelona. Toni Rüdiger, still no agreement with Chelsea. Many clubs interested in the German centre-back, and so Rüdiger situation open. And Christensen, Bayern and Barcelona pushing. I think it's going to be very difficult to see Christensen again next season with Chelsea shirt. So at the moment, 3 dangerous situations talking about contracts for Chelsea, but they're already preparing the future for the centre-backs, and they have a serious interest again in Jules Koundé from Sevilla. So centre-backs are the key point at the moment at Chelsea. They're in conversation with the agents of Jules Koundé. They want him again after last summer. They were really close to sign Koundé, and then the deal collapsed in the last days of the window. And so I'm sure that Chelsea will be back on this player and that they will do something important in the defense. They need a revolution in that position, also because, as I mentioned, Azpilicueta has a proposal from Barca. Christensen is close to leave the club, and for Rüdiger, everything is still open.
What about sticking with Chelsea? What about Romelu Lukaku? Obviously, he's not hit the form yet that he had at Inter.
The situation is not easy, Rio. The situation is not easy. As you mentioned, with Inter, he was looking like a completely different player. I still think that this player with Antonio Conte is always a completely different player. So the feeling is always the same. Every time we see him from Italy, we still think that what he did with Inter is also thanks to Antonio Conte, who completely changed his mind. When he's playing with Chelsea, it seems completely different life. At the moment, talking about transfers, there is nothing advanced or close or no serious stories yet, also because Chelsea spent a lot of money on Romelu Lukaku. It's 115 million euros to sign the striker from Inter. So at the moment, it's not easy to find a club ready to pay some money for Romelu Lukaku, and Chelsea are still trying to protect him. Thomas Tuchel in his press conference today said again, it's not time to attack him, it's time to protect him. So Chelsea will try again with Lukaku to get a better situation, but it's really, really difficult at the moment. So let's see what happens in the summer. Also because in Italy, we had some link again with Juventus, but Lukaku is so clear. From what I'm told, he has no intention to go to any other Italian club that is not Inter. But at the moment, Inter have no money to pay for Lukaku. So that's why the situation is really quiet. But I'm sure that if we continue like this, it's going to be an interesting summer to see what's next for Romelu.
Fabrizio, could you see, you mentioned Conte there, could you see a scenario where Harry Kane goes to Man City and Lukaku goes to follow Conte at Spurs as the replacement for Harry Kane?
It would be huge. I can't say no because at the moment we are still in February, and so we have to keep everything open. But I can tell you, talking about Lukaku, that of course Antonio is in love with Lukaku. He thinks Lukaku is the best number 9 in the world, maybe together with Harry Kane, because he's really loving the impact of Harry Kane, now working with him also in training every single day. But Antonio is in love with Lukaku, so he would love to work one day again with Romelu. But I think it's not going to be easy for Tottenham to pay what Chelsea would ask for Lukaku, so that's why it's not an easy scenario. And talking about Harry Kane, talking about his future, I'm told that Tottenham are still hoping to extend his contract. They are working on it since September, offering him a new deal, waiting for Harry to make a decision. But Kane's decision won't be in February. Kane's decision won't be in March or in April. From what I'm told, Harry wants to wait till the end of the season to see, first point, if Tottenham will be back in Champions League. He wants to play Champions League football, so it's a priority for Kane. And also what kind of market Tottenham will have in the summer. Because the ambition, the winning mentality is something that Antonio Conte is bringing to the club. But they want to see both Conte and Kane the same in the summer with the transfer window. So he's going to wait. Kane is going to wait to sign a new deal with Tottenham. And that's why many clubs are still interested and waiting to see what's next for Harry. So he's another interesting name to keep an eye on for the summer.
Right, Fab, what's going on with Ronaldo? Is he waiting until United announce the new manager to make a decision? Or is he just so chill about where he goes because he knows he's going to get somewhere?
I want to be 100% honest with you. I was asking about Cristiano last week, and the answer I received is he's not planning to leave. He's not planning to make up stories about his future. He's just fighting for United. He wants to fight for United. He doesn't care about Captain Armband at the moment. A lot of stories on Maguire and Ronaldo, but on both sides, on Maguire's side and on Ronaldo's side, I received the same answer. They're not thinking about it. They're thinking about results. Man United need results, and Cristiano wants to be part of that project. So at the moment, he's not jealous of any rumors around of Man United signing a new striker, because they will sign a new striker. As Ragnik said, it's 100% sure. They're already working around the market to see who could be the right player. They're not deciding now, of course, as we mentioned last week, but they will sign a new striker. And Cristiano is not jealous. He knows that maybe they need at Man United another striker, also with him staying at the club in the summer. So at the moment, with Cristiano, no problem, and not creating an issue into the club. I want to be 100% honest with you. He's not making up any stories. Cristiano or his agent or people close to him.
I can't see him staying behind if we've got Europa League next year. I think it's in his contract that he's not allowed to hear that music.
This is a good point, of course. This is a good point.
Oh man.
It's about Champions League. Of course, Cristiano always wants to play Champions League, but at the moment he's not deciding now in February, March what he wants to do. So on Cristiano's side, that's the situation now. Then looks what happened with Juventus last year. With Juventus in July, Cristiano was speaking with Nedved and with people into the club, telling them, I'm ready to stay, I'm ready to fight for Juventus. And then in August, he told them, I want to leave. So we can't predict what's next for Cristiano, but of course, your point is very good, Steve. He wants to play Champions League football.
Fab, when it comes to Mr. Raheem, a player who, in my opinion, isn't respected enough or worshipped enough as he should be, what's the situation with him at Man City? Because last year we were hearing that he could potentially leave. He's in such good form. Is there any conversations with him and Pep Guardiola going on at the moment?
Yes, from what I'm told, there are conversations between Raheem Sterling and Man City over new contract. Man City want to make a decision within the summer, within June or July, because he's out of contract in 2023. And so they don't want to face the risk to lose a player like Sterling as free agent in January. That's why they want to make a decision now. They're offering him a new deal, and they're discussing with Raheem Sterling over a contract extension. Let's see what the player will decide. But Pep Guardiola, a few days ago, gave his green light to extend the contract. So Pep is never involved in negotiations at Man City. He's not taking care of anything when it's about contract negotiations. But he's always involved into the process, like saying, okay, we have to trust this player or not. And he wants Sterling to stay, as he wants Bernardo to stay. He wants both of them to stay at the club for long term. So that's why Man City are now offering a new deal to Raheem Sterling. Let's see what he will decide, because as you mentioned, Joe, 1 year ago, Barcelona were interested in Sterling and the player was tempted. Now seems completely different life for him, because he's doing great. He's playing regularly as a starter with Man City. So they're negotiating over a new deal, and this is the priority for City. But if Sterling is not going to sign a new deal within like June or July, keep an eye on his name on the market, because they don't want to face the risk of losing a player like this as free agents.
Bernardo Silva to Real Madrid.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I saw this
What's going on there
today that it's about his dream and this kind of stories. But at the moment, I'm told that there is nothing on this point between Bernardo and Real Madrid. And as I mentioned before, Pep wants Bernardo to stay. Last summer, Bernardo was really close to leave the club, but really, really close. When Manchester City were negotiating for Cristiano Ronaldo in that week, they were looking for a solution for Raheem Sterling or Bernardo Silva. And Bernardo was close to leave because he wanted to leave, and Atletico Madrid were really interested in him. Then they offered 30 million, and Man City wanted 60, so it was impossible to reach an agreement. But Bernardo was really close to leave Manchester City last summer, and Pep was pushing him every single day to stay at the club. It was Pep directly to speak with the player, to tell him, you will be important for us next season, stay here, we trust you, we need you. And then he was right, because he's doing fantastic now for Man City. So I'm sure that Pep will fight again to keep Bernardo at the club, and it's not going to be easy for any club to reach an agreement with Man City for Bernardo.
But Anthony at Ajax, the Brazilian winger, I saw some rumors about him maybe potentially going to Man United.
I would keep an eye on two names, guys, for the summer in that position, Danjuma and Anthony, because they are two players, both of them, that are in the interest of top clubs. And so Liverpool, Man United, it's true that they're following him. It's true. Anthony is a player that Man United are following. He's not the only one, but he's one of the players they're following. Same with Danjuma. They're players that are really modern players. Anthony is doing fantastic with Ajax. They are dominating the Eredivisie. They're doing fantastic in Champions League. Let's see what's next now with the next step. But of course, they were doing great in the group. And Anthony is more than talented boy. I love this player. I still remember I was watching his debut in professional football when he was with Sao Paulo in Brazil, and this player was already super talented. Now he has European mentality, and that's why Manchester United, Liverpool, and also other clubs are following him. So nothing has been decided. There is still no proposal, no negotiation. Edwin van der Sar will protect him because Ajax need to keep this player for one more season, but it's not going to be easy because really many clubs are in the race for Anthony and will be one of the names to watch in the summer together with Daniuma, who is doing fantastic with Villarreal.
Speaking of Brazilian youngsters, we've got Savinho and Hendrick, both causing a bit of a stir. Do you expect either of those to be moving in the summer?
Savinho will go to Man City. So it's not done yet, but it's 99.9%. Savinho is a very talented boy born in 2004. He's playing for Atletico Mineiro. And Man City, I always speak with agents or with club directors in Brazil, and they always tell me the same. Man City are too fast in South America. The City group is doing an incredible work. They are already signing players when the other clubs are jumping into asking for informations or asking about contracts and this kind of things. They're already there. They're already everything signed. So, for example, Arsenal, Red Bull Group were interested in this boy, Savinho, from Atletico Mineiro, but Man City were already there with a bid, 6.5 million euros, add-ons, sell-on clause, everything in the package, everything agreed with Atletico Mineiro. So he's doing his medical in the next few days. I think this week there will be a medical for Savinho, and he will be the next young Brazilian boy to join Man City.
You just mentioned there that Man City in Brazil are the fastest. They're faster than everybody. Yes. Their networks there are too strong. Is that like that everywhere in the world? Would you say Man City are probably ahead of everybody, or who else is in the market in other big regions in the world?
No, they are, of course, if not the best, among the best also in other areas. But in South America, they are incredible. They created an incredible team with the scouting. They are super fast in the conversation with people close to the players. And so with Kaique, this boy, now Savinho, they're always first in the negotiation and it talks to the players. Then something changes when, for example, Real Madrid or Barcelona are jumping into the talks, because Real Madrid and Barcelona are super attracting for Brazilian players sometimes, and that's what's happening with the other names Steve was mentioning. That is Hendrick, this boy, is super interesting too. But in that case, Real Madrid and Barcelona are in conversation with his agents, are in conversation with Palmeiras. So he's another one that we need to watch and see what happens. But Manchester City, we have to say congrats, because I think City Group is doing an incredible work with young talents around the world, not just in Brazil, but with South American talents. They are simply too fast. And also with Argentinian players many times. So it's always the same feeling when it's about young talents in South America.
I've seen Hendrick play, man. That boy is not 15, man. You don't look it. He's not 15. We're going to be talking about him on our new show coming soon anyway. Fab, before you go, you got to have some of that Arsenal news for me, man. I know there's something, you know.
Yeah, it says you're the fourth best team in London, mate.
There's something.
It's not news, no.
It's going to be about the striker, Joe. I'm sure they're focusing on the striker. Then let's see who will be their pick, because they need a striker. They wanted a striker. They will go for a striker. My feeling is that both Lacazette and Nketiah won't sign a new deal with Arsenal. So I see both of them leaving as free agents in the summer. This is the expectation. And so they need a striker. They need maybe two strikers, but they need an important striker. I would keep the names of Alexander Isak and Jonathan David in the list, because they have both players in the list since January. But I'm sure that Arsenal will go for something important in attacking positions.
I don't know why Rio's looking at me when his own club's doing Inquiry FC, mate. So I don't know what's going on. But thank you very much for that, Fab. We're gonna have a little debrief when you go offline, and we're gonna discuss some of the things that you've discussed. So you'll probably be watching it on the show later on. But we'll catch you next week, same time. All right.
Thanks, you, guys. Thank you as always, and see you soon. Ciao, guys.
Why are you looking at me?
You've got no strikers on your books. There's going to be a stage in the summer where you've got no strikers on your books. Just imagine, let that sink in.
If Pep can do it, we can.
Yeah. The difference is he's good. You've got his cone, man.
You know what I mean? Nah,
Jack Wilshere, by the way. Jack Wilshere's just signed for a club called Aarhus. I actually played against Aarhus. I think it was my first game for Man United in a friendly. We went there and we played against them. It was an experience.
In what way?
No, it was the first time I realised how big a club Man United were.
Really?
All the fans were in the streets at the hotel. I've said this before. It was like the Beatles had turned up. So it's a lovely, lovely place. he'll have a good time there. Really nice people.
He's there till the end of the season, isn't it?
Yeah. So a little nice city in Denmark. He'll love it.
Do you reckon he's techie enough to handle it over there? Like still.
Oh yeah.
His physicality is going to massively fell off, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's his problem. Just staying fit and being robust enough to maintain.
Mind you, he's just been away on warm weather training anyway with Arsenal, so maybe he's a bit sharper than we think.
Yeah. Maybe. That's interesting.
I hope so. Anyway, he's a good lad.
Tuchel on Conor Gallagher. I think he's a bad player, man.
He's done phenomenally well at Palace this year. Goals, assists. He's impacted games, energy in that position where he's joining from midfield and really being a threat on goal. But if I was Conor Gallagher, I'd be quite positive and bullish about next season going back into Chelsea in the squad. I think the manager spoke positively about him. He said his parting shot was, "I'm happy that he's one of our players." So he's definitely made he has an impact that Tuchel's actually heard about him and knows about him and thinks, okay, there's a conversation, a discussion to be had regarding.
I think you're being hypocritical, to be honest with you.
Why?
Because when Jesse Lingard had that great season at West Ham last year, you said he probably should have stayed. And I think Conor Gallagher is in the exact same position at the moment.
They're not.
Why?
They're both at different ends of the spectrum in terms of their career and their ages.
So why is he? But he's just started playing. So why is he going to go back to sit down?
He's grown up at Man United. I mean, at Chelsea. Conor Gallagher. He's gone out on loan to West Brom last season. Didn't really pull up any trees. Gone out on loan again this season. Yeah, he's still in 21s, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. So he's still a very young kid in his development. Accustomed to the Premier League now, done really, really well at Palace. Probably slowed down a little bit of late, but wouldn't mark that against him. He's done well. Earned probably the right. Looks like he's going to earn the right to go back to Chelsea when he's a more mature player to then now see where he's at. The difference is that Jesse's been at Man United for a long time. He knows where he's at. He knows where he's in the pecking order. There's no question marks about am I in or am I out? Am I good enough or not?
I think we know where Conor Gallagher is.
Where?
In the pecking order.
Where?
He's not ahead of Mount.
Yeah, but
he's not going to be ahead of Kai Havertz, is he?
No, but when Mount went back, it was the same thing.
Yeah, but
Mount
it was a completely different scenario at Chelsea at the time because they had to rely on the youth players.
They
had a ban. Yeah, they had a ban.
No, but they didn't have to play him though. They got him in the team. It's different. I get what you're saying, but what I'm saying is that Mason Mount. My point is Mason Mount went back to Chelsea not knowing where he was in the pecking order, not knowing if he'd get a chance. Conor Gallagher will do that. And then Conor Gallagher will quickly find out he's going to get a chance or he ain't. Then I think the decision's then to go.
What, December?
Maybe, yeah. But if he doesn't get in until then. But Jesse had obviously loads of opportunities to understand where he is. And he'd gone out 28 years old, gone to West Ham, playing in front of fans, what it means again, etc. So
in that sense, I can't lie. In that sense, yeah, I don't know what he did. He should have. He really should have there.
Jimmy Garner's in the same sort of situation now at United as Conor Gallagher is.
Yeah, I think Garner definitely goes back and says, "What's happening? Am I going to be involved in the first team squad to get a chance or not? If not, then I'm going to go. If I am, give me a chance."
Steve, you asked a question to Fab. Would you like to see him at the club next season? Do you reckon he still contributes?
Yeah, but we should be looking at bringing somebody else in. If you're going to bring in
wait a minute, Steve. You just let that go over your head. Does he still contribute? How many goals has he got? He's top scorer.
Yeah, but I think everyone can agree that.
Yeah, but the contribution thing, he's going to contribute. But I think at United, the way we're trying to play, depending on who's manager, if it's a single striker system, you're probably going to bring someone else in. Now, are you going to bring someone else in that's happy to shadow Ronaldo for a season and be the main man the following season? Because I'll tell you what, Haaland ain't that guy. Haaland's not going to come in and sit down for no one.
Haaland ain't coming to Man United.
Haaland's not going to Man United. So.
Haaland ain't coming to Man United. Let's just get it right now.
Why you got to piss all over my chips like that so quickly?
Nah, it's true, man. He's not.
His old man ain't having it.
Yeah, I can imagine that's a big factor. But I can also imagine Mino Raiola's like, yeah, but they're daft and they'll pay anything that you want.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the parts as well.
Last bit that I want to look at.
Or they maybe were. We'll see under Mr. Arnold how they're going to be. I think there's going to be a change in the way things go.
Do you know Mr. Arnold?
Yeah, I know Richard Arnold. He was the head of commercial and stuff. Well, he was part of the commercial team when I was there, and then obviously he went up to he headed it all up. So he's looked after that successful element of the business at Man United. That's probably what's led him to be in the position he's in now. But good guy, stand-up guy. I had a good relationship with him, I've got to be honest. Really nice geezer. So I really hope he does well.
Well, that's positive.
Yeah. Pep,
Sounds positive.
Pep on Harry Kane. Like, we spoke on Bible 5 earlier this week, and we said that it was like an audition that he had. Do you reckon Pep goes back in for him in the summer?
I think after seeing that at the weekend, yeah. I think he does. I think he goes back in. Get a cut down fee, 70-ish. In today's market is like
There's nothing in it for
5
like
mil
that.
back in my day.
Yeah. Yeah.
I reckon he does.
He has to. He has to. And if City do that,
If City buy him, they clean up
they
again.
clean up. They clean up. All right, guys. Thank you very much for watching Gazzetta dello 5 this week. Make sure you stay tuned and let us know what players you want us to talk about. Is there anyone on the radar or any moves that you would like to see? Let's get those comments in and we'll see you soon. Peace.